Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about silence has a lot to say. And sometimes we're a bit terrified of silence, of what our mind says, of where we go, what comes into our head. Maybe, thoughts and feelings that challenge us that we are a bit scared to deal with. But I think the things that we're scared of are the things that we really, in the end, have to face. And so it's like being able to face the things that we are scared of or fearful of is important for us. And it's important for us to be able to do that and to be able to, acknowledge the things that do terrify us and acknowledge the things that we could be fearful of happening in the future. I don't know. Is there anything that you particularly fear? I guess for me, as a health practitioner, I feared my children's lack of taking care of their health and their lack of care about their health. So, that's a challenging thing for me. Or there might be other things that are challenging for you. And I think definitely as we get older, that's challenging in itself, how our body is and how our mind is and how we deal with the things that happen in life. So, and if there's anyone that you'd like to dedicate to, happy to do that. All right, so let's go into our heart chakra. Because I guess when we have silence, that's when our heart's going to talk to us, because mostly we keep ourselves too busy to do that. All right, and what comes up is trust. All right, so Melissa oil. All right, Melissa oil assists individuals in receiving spiritual guidance by reconnecting them with their inner voice. It uplifts the soul by preparing one to ascend. When individuals feel too weighed down by the burdens of life, Melissa encourages them to keep going. It gives strength and vitality to the innermost recesses of the heart and soul. This oil invites all to participate in higher realms of living and dreaming. As they stay connected to spiritual sources, they feel lightness in their being and brightness in their core. Melissa reminds everyone that each individual has a spark of divinity within them, and with love and attention, the spark will grow. This oil fuels that spark of energy, igniting an individual's true self. Melissa assists them in shedding everything that is not in harmony with their inner light. All right, so if you feel hopeless or overwhelmed, that might be a great oil to help uplift you and to bring light into your life and light into your soul. Okay, so I trust in love. My relationships are peaceful and balanced. So, is there something that prevents you from having relationships that are peaceful and balanced? So, generational baggage, dad's side, dad's mum, and the women on that side. Like 33 generations. All right, age 6, age 12, age 15, age 20, age 50, 55, and 60. All right, so these are different times in our lives that we didn't feel our relationships were peaceful and balanced. So what helps you to be peaceful and balanced? Something age 33. Some stuck emotions. All right, belief in the worst happening to you. And I think most of us have had fears in our lives, and the things that we did fear did happen, and it's like we had to learn to deal with the things that we don't like or the things that may not have been great. All right, layers in the aura. Layer 3. Which is the mental body that's connected to our thoughts and our ideas. So stagnant energy accumulating there. So Donna Eden does like an aura fluff, and she also does a meridian dance. So there's things that are worth looking at to help your energy field. So current females in our lives. And some stuck emotions. All right, emotional needs not being met. And I guess that comes back to the silence, isn't it? To address what your emotional needs are. What are you feeling? What do you feel you're lacking? Or, maybe we're not getting what we want from a particular area, but there's someone else or another situation that does give us what we need, and being able to allow ourselves to receive. All right, now layer 5 in the aura. So layer 5 is about the master copy of our physical body. So it's like the energy field for the master copy for our body has to be good. Otherwise, it's a photocopy, a bad copy. It just gets worse and worse. So we need the master copy good. All right, so tears in the aura. Females from the past. Good Good morning, Susanna. All right, age 17. Some generational baggage there as well. Dad's side. Dad's dad. And the women. All right, so being able to allow ourselves to have growth and learning from all these experiences. What did we learn? And what are we learning? I allow myself to be peaceful and balanced even through times of rapid growth and learning. And I think the difficult things in life, and maybe the things we're a bit frightened to let ourselves feel and experience, when we do take time to meditate or to pray or just to ponder, we can be fearful of the changes and the things that we're not used to. I follow where the light leads. All right, age 33. So feelings of self-rejection. So is there anywhere in your body that's complaining? Is anywhere telling you that the energy is stuck? All right, so we're going to go into the kidney meridian. All right, so the feeling stuck in the kidney meridian is impending doom. So, what are you thinking is going to be bad? So we've got an oil coming up here. Naioli. So Naioli is an excellent ally in working with the ego. It teaches that challenges to an individual's self-construct reveal the work they have yet to do. And I guess that's what we're talking about with the silence, isn't it? Allowing ourselves to see what comes forward and to be willing to address it or to feel it or to work through it and to get to the other side. This oil cuts through the justification for their combative choices and preemptive strike against others. It helps individuals to resist the impulse to make others wrong. It reveals that the true cause of defensiveness is a sense of powerlessness that can be addressed and healed. Naioli reveals the false boundaries individuals have set for others in order to feel safe. This oil's message is that emotional safety comes not from contending with the outside world, but from clearing out the toxicity and discord within themselves. So, wanting us to be willing to learn. So, how do we learn from these experiences? Because every experience we have is for our good, especially if we allow ourselves to learn whatever we need to learn from the experience. And the difficult experiences probably teach us the most. They're the hardest to get through, but we do learn the most. All right, so now we're going to go into the liver meridian. So the feeling of jealousy is stuck in the liver meridian. So what are we jealous of? And geranium oil comes up here. So geranium's the oil of love and trust. Only sometimes we don't love and trust ourselves. All right, I retain wisdom from experience and maintain sensible personal boundaries. I am emotionally honest with others and myself, allowing sincere, intimate communication, giving and receiving. I release all the suppressed grief and pain. My energy is clear and at full strength, balanced and regulated. I am emotionally healed and fully functional. I step away from my clinical perfectionist mind and remember my imagination, my intuition, and the sensory experiences of my warm, nurturing heart. All right, something from age 6. Feeling taken for granted. So sometimes as a child, we really have wonderful thoughts, enthusiasm, and, love. And sometimes our parents were stuck in their own stuff and they were unable to see the goodness of our hearts or the purity of spirit that we had and the love that we had to give. So we might use digestin oil or Zengest, which is about digesting our life experiences, which at times can be difficult. So they call it the oil of assimilation. All right, digestin combines powerful oils to support the body and the spirit in assimilating new information and events. It increases the ability to receive new information, new relationships, and new experiences and be open to new possibilities. This blend aids individuals in digesting life's many experiences. All right. Are there some experiences that are a bit stuck that you've had trouble processing or you still feel the ramifications of, even from when you were a little kid? All right. So our grid. So we can have base grid or grid lines. So the grid lines, horizontal lines, lower body at the back. So sometimes people can energetically attack us because they're not okay. And so then that can cause damage to our energy field. So we're not feeling able to let our energy field heal. So generational baggage here again from mum's side. And the women. Okay. So sometimes the way we perceive life to go isn't what we got. And so we can feel very hurt or distressed that life isn't going the way that we had it planned. I accept my chapters as they unfold with flexibility and confidence. When I set my intention, I'm able to focus on the big picture while taking one step at a time. As I rise up to lead my tribe, I am given the knowledge required. I am a success. And sometimes we don't consider ourselves a success because we're comparing ourselves to other people and, their version of success might look better to us. But if we consider where we've come, the generational patterns that we hold, whatever progress we make in this life is to be celebrated. My ability to be open to intuition enables those around me to trust their own intuition. So as we allow ourselves to have those moments of silence and to ponder what's presented to us and to work through what's presented to us, we can trust our intuition and the things that our mind is telling us, and our intuitive spirit is telling us can be worked on. My weaknesses become my strengths. All right, I allow others to accept my worth. Prosperity sits well with me. So often we feel not great about ourselves, and so then we don't let other people in to enjoy us and to, get to know us because we don't feel that we're worthy of prosperity. So it's like we stop ourselves from being prosperous. I release lack and scarcity from my life. Good morning, Lavinia. My personal boundaries are considerate, reasonable, and strong. Following inspiration is comfortable and natural for me. Sometimes we have trouble believing that things can change or that we can change or that we can address the things that bother us. Even though I may struggle, I feel security is mine now. Money comes to me in planned and unplanned ways that are good. I drink in life's richness and sweetness. And often we don't allow ourselves to do that, and then we want to eat sweet things, which is not so great. All right, when we follow our purpose, we feel energized, invigorated, and hopeful. When we ignore our heart, we feel sad, depressed, exhausted, and defeated. We cannot see the light ahead. The saying that you have to put one foot into the dark and then the light will come is often true. We may feel strongly to accomplish a goal, but not see clearly the way to accomplish it. Committing yourself to what you believe is so important. When we make this commitment, our mind and whole being then look for new means to make it happen. All right, my motives are pure. So if we're doing things out of love for self, love for other people, love for our Savior, then we're operating from a good place. And usually we want to help other people when we're in that good place. My family and I support each other through our growth and learning. And sometimes growth and learning doesn't look pretty. Sometimes it's messy. And I guess if you were an artist, you might have to create a mess to make a beautiful picture. And we can get frustrated with the mess, but it may be what is necessary to create whatever it is we're creating. My growth is enjoyable, though at times challenging. All right, something from age 53. So where were you? What were you doing? So the feeling of lack of control. And I think when you have teenagers, you feel like that. So the first layer of the aura. Which is the layer closest to the physical body. And often things are seen in our aura before they hit our body. So it's like being able to address things as the feelings, and in the times that we pray and meditate, it's addressing things before they become a major problem. All right, so the Celtic weave at the front of the body is damaged. Current females. So sometimes people are not always kind and welcoming to us, or not always able to acknowledge who we are or the divinity within us, and that can make it hard for us to acknowledge the divinity within them as well. All right, so now we're going to go into the solar plexus chakra. So this is about taking action on the things that you may feel strongly about. When we have those moments of silence and we listen to what our body, mind, and energy is saying to us, and our spirit, that we can have the ability to take action about the things that we feel. All right, and this is affecting the stomach. Feeling rejection. All right, so sometimes we might be rejected by others. I love myself. And sometimes that can be difficult because we want it to come externally and other people to acknowledge us and show us love. But sometimes they're not able. So it's like being able to love ourselves anyway. I am worthy because I exist. So being able to see the good in us and the power in us and the ability that we have to, put ripples in the pond by our actions. We may not see the whole thing change. Maybe we just have to do small changes, but the ripples will be there nonetheless, and we will make a difference to ourselves, to our children, to our grandchildren, and down the line. So now we're going to go into the earth chakra. So being connected to Mother Earth, actually grounding ourselves, putting our feet on the ground, patting our pet. Gratitude for our natural environment. My actions impact other living things. I act in alignment with my values. I partake of Earth's resources with reverence and thanksgiving. And sometimes we or others may have experienced huge luck in their life. And I remember hearing a man talk about he had a very difficult family and they had no food. And he said sometimes they would even try and eat grass or other things because they were just so hungry. And he can remember one time someone came and brought some bread and some jam, and he said he can still remember the taste and how wonderful the bread and jam was because of the starvation that he'd been through. So it's like this gratitude for food and gratitude for the things that we have in the earth are important to us. And I think that's like if we talk about prayer and meditation, you can also put in fasting because I think the withdrawal of food and from our body for a short period of time enables our spirit to be stronger and to feel the spiritual messages that we would receive. And whether they're coming internally or from God, it's important for us to receive those spiritual messages because they're the decisions that we make, and we're operating from internal guidance and from divine guidance. And I think, when we do that, we're really making fantastic choices. From the world of relationships. All right, so I have a healthy working relationship with my past. I guess it's coming into that belief system again that, these difficulties that we had in the past that were painful and often very hard to get past have helped us, and they've grown us, and they've made us be even better people than we already were. All right, I have a healthy relationship with my health. So generational baggage from mum's side of the family, our mum. So sometimes people have lived through very difficult times where their health was not valued. Their survival was more important, and they didn't make great choices for their future because they were trying just to survive in the present. So being able to be grounded and connected enough to our inner self and divinely to see further down the track that we can get past the difficulties right now, the things that are putting us into emergency. So things not sitting right in our head. So sometimes we need cranial adjustments to help our head be better. So we're going to plug in the vibration of that. So the feeling stuck in our head of being taken for granted. So people not seeing our value, or maybe we're allowing other people's views of us to prevent us from seeing our goodness and greatness. And then having a lovely relationship with our body, isn't it? Sometimes we get mad with our body doesn't look a certain way or isn't the right size. But if you think about it, your body often took on the things that we were not ready to process and kept them and wore them for us to allow us to survive. I eat healthy food and it tastes good to me. I drink enough water to rinse my body clean and allow healthy cell repair and renewal. My eyes work correctly and see clearly. My nervous system functions optimally. My digestive system easily and completely digests and absorbs all nutrients. I feel safe and free to be me. I am more valuable than anything. And I think that's really important. My mind easily grasps new concepts and applies them immediately. My mind is a powerful instrument for good, and I really believe that. My mind listens to my body and is able to decode its messages easily, which again comes down to that times of silence and to hear what our body's saying to us. I easily find the positive in every situation. I allow full comprehension of the big picture. I easily forgive and forget past offences while keeping healthy boundaries. My mind is in tune with my heart and they work together peacefully. I choose to be peaceful, yet work with full purpose of mind. So now we're going to the second layer of the aura, which is to do with the emotions within and our emotions for other people. So sometimes people can hook into us. They want to use our energy and they're not necessarily being respectful. So males in our lives. So feeling lack of control. And I guess that's when our boundaries come into play, isn't it? That when people are having behaviours that are not acceptable, that we can still hold our ground and remove ourselves from these situations, or, refuse the behaviour that we're receiving. All right, so our radiant circuits, I guess, to do with our relationship with our mother and our inner mother, and being able to have healthy boundaries and, allow these spare circuits to operate. My children forgive me for my past mistakes. I live within my healthy limits. So I guess when we're living outside our limits of what our body can tolerate, or our mind or our energy field, parts of any of those will deteriorate. So being able to know what is within our limits, and being able to stick to those limits, which again comes down to our boundaries. Okay, so now we're going into our sacral chakra. It is safe to feel and process my feelings. Can you feel where your feelings are stuck in your body? Whereabouts do you feel it? I allow my most painful experiences to be released from my body. I will be the kind of parent my child needs. And sometimes we have to parent our inner child and be the parent that they need. I trust in God's plan for me and my family. I have everything within me to create and nurture life. I trust that things will be exactly as they should be, even though the way is unclear. So forgiveness comes up now. So forgiving others. So forgiving our grandfather. For feeling disgust. So energy stuck in a body system from the past experience. So in our respiratory system, in our bronchi. So hatred stuck in our body. in our reproductive system, forgiving our son, right, something stuck in our C5. So our C5 is our sugar circuit too, so often when we eat badly, our neck won't be right. All right, this is from Inner Siegel's book. The dread of being humiliated, embarrassed or ridiculed, feeling overburdened, and you could have a sore throat that would go with that too. And we're going to go back to the heart chakra. I have room in my heart for love. I love those who need forgiving for not being what I wanted them to be. I acknowledge my own loveliness. Love is everywhere, and I allow myself to experience it. Something else stuck in our neck. So C3. Good morning, Julie. So feeling insecure or stuck in the neck, or indecisive. Our skin being affected. All right, and now we're going to go into the crown chakra. I understand the purpose of all my pain and release it willingly. Okay, so where is your pain? And I guess it's the clue, isn't it, to where the energy's stuck. So the throat chakra. The failure to speak up truthfully. And sometimes we're scared to speak truthfully because we fear rejection or ridicule. I speak my truth. I willingly replace smoking, alcohol abuse, dope, overeating, unhealthy dieting with my powerful creativity. So how can you use your creativity to bring yourself joy? And it may be a time too when you're having peacefulness or, silent time, that you could use your creativity and to help express the feelings that are stuck in there. Others are comfortable with what comes out of my mouth. I'm becoming more creative each day. I feel comfortable to speak freely. I acknowledge my unique set of superpowers. And we all have superpowers, whether we want to admit it or not. We do. There are some things that you're just good at that no one else is. And it may not be, standard everyday things, but it's a superpower nonetheless. All right, so some generational baggage from mum. The feeling of hopelessness. And sometimes we can feel like that when life doesn't go the way we expected it or planned it. It can feel hopeless, but I think of that saying from The Sound of Music, when God closes a door, he always opens a window. So it's like looking for the windows when the doors are closing. All right, so just by way of announcement, we're having a get-together for those that want to on Saturday night at the clinic, which is 41 Car Horse Road in Padstow, 6 p.m, and we'll bring a plate of healthy food and have some fun and laugh. Sometimes we cry. We support each other in those processes. And we're going to have an Advanced Energy Workz in July 11th, 12th and 13th, and a basic one in August, which will be the 8th, 9th and 10th of August. All right. So thank you for being on the call. Hope that you can take some short moments of silence and address the things that your body would say to you. Anyway, leave that with you. Hope you shine who you really are.